Welcome back. So today I wanted to talk about a common topic I see coming through related to food. And it is, why do I feel so good on my vegan or vegetarian diet? For years, but now all of a sudden I feel drained. I'm losing my hair. I feel cold all the time. My motivation seems like it's gone. My energy, it's just not where it was before. Even my libido is no longer good. So many times it comes down to nutrition stores and amino acid deficiencies when we talk about vegetarianism or veganism. So check this out. The body only has so much of so many nutrients. It only stores so much. For instance, iodine, it's mostly stored in the thyroid gland. Otherwise, 90% that comes into us goes right back on out of us. We need it over and over and over and over again. Same thing with zinc. Zinc is not stored in the body at all. Basically, you need a steady supply of zinc to keep all the processes related to zinc going. If you don't have zinc coming in, those processes are going to slow way down. And when it comes to iron, men often have like 1 to 3 years of iron stores, whereas women only have about 6 months worth of iron storage. So you take a menstruating woman, she's going to get low on iron pretty quickly. B12 storage, that can be adequate for about 2 to 4 years in some people, and really depending on their food and their lifestyle and maybe supplementation, say before they went into a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. So B12, next you're underperforming, and it's just because of B12 deficiency. So dairy, eggs, fatty fish, organ meats, those are all great sources of preformed vitamin A. And sure, you can get loads of beta carotenes, alpha carotenes in colorful fruits and vegetables, but you also need the necessary enzymes, the necessary enzymatic machinery to convert beta carotene into vitamin A or preformed vitamin A in your body. Unfortunately, 45% of us are considered low converters or low responders, and we have a really challenging time converting beta carotene into vitamin A. You probably heard about the benefits of vitamin A related to eyes and nervous system and immune system and lung tissue. Without sufficient preformed vitamin A from animal products, we'll become deficient in vitamin A unless we supplement. Pretty much 50% of us will become very deficient in vitamin A if we're not getting it from either supplements or an animal source. Iron, it's one of the most commonly described deficiencies related to vegans or vegetarian diets. Even though there is plenty of iron in green vegetables, our digestive system, our digestive tracts, they do not have the sufficient machinery either to extract that iron at a reasonable level to keep us functioning optimally. Every once in a while, there's some, 1 out of 500 person that they can do it somehow, but the vast majority of us do not. Now, say you throw in exercise or for a woman menstruation and they're eating a vegan or vegetarian diet. Iron deficiency is going to be knocking at the door in months, potentially weeks, and it can show up in a hurry. And low iron, that can cause profound fatigue, poor healing, depression, bruising, palpitations, hair loss, and literally just a general overall performance decay, across the lifespan. So these nutrients that we find in abundance and find to be very highly absorbed by meat products, animal products, may be present in vegetarian products, but our body doesn't actually have the machinery, the capacity to uptake them in an efficient manner. And another one is omega-3 fatty acids, namely the DHA and EPA. You probably hear about these in fish oils a lot, right? So these are completely missing in a vegan diet. Seafood is our best source by far of EPA and DHA. Grass-fed beef, grass-finished beef. It's got to be grass-fed and grass-finished, not just grass-fed. That can have quite a bit of EPA, DHA, though it's still considerably less than would be in seafood. And while it's true, vegetables, nuts, seeds, they do contain some omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid. The body's ability, once again, to convert alpha-linolenic acid to EPA and DHA is really low. It's very slender. In fact, the conversion rate's usually less than 15% in most people of conversion to EPA and DHA. And EPA and DHA, they're so vital for brain function, cognition, acutely, as well as long-term cell membrane integrity, our cardiovascular system, our arterial lining, and keeping our arteries young and veins young, as well as just our overall totality of body inflammatory response. You hear about fish oils all the time for decreased inflammation. So how about protein and a vegan lifestyle? So sure, you may be able to get enough protein. We hear about this all the time. You can get enough protein in a vegan lifestyle. It's true, you can get enough protein, actual protein, but the amino acid composition of that protein is not optimal for building, repairing, sustaining muscle, helping detoxification pathways, enabling nerve tissue repair, supporting the immune system and overall immune function, amongst just a host of other processes. And specifically like leucine, that amino acid, lysine, and the sulfur-containing amino acids like methionine and cysteine, these are ones that are really lacking in a vegan or a vegetarian diet. So these amino acids in particular are vital, those sulfur-containing ones, for clearing reactive oxygen species. And you may have heard of ROS, or reactive oxygen species. Those are literally the substances that we want for a little while, and then we want them gone. We need the body recycling those really, really, really efficiently. Otherwise, we age way too fast. All right, I got a couple more for you. So riboflavin is another one, vitamin B2. So this is present to a degree in vegan diets, but what we found is that when it's cooked or there's any level of water added in the cooking process to vegetables that may have riboflavin in it, we lose that riboflavin really fast. And so we need riboflavin for red blood cell production. We need it to convert folate and B6 into their usable forms. We need riboflavin for reducing those free radicals, once again, just like the fish oils and the sulfur-containing amino acids. Because if we're not getting rid of these reactive oxygen species, these oxidative molecules with the sulfur-containing amino acids, with the riboflavin, with the omega-3 fatty acids, we're like walking around just like a time bomb, with just spewing out inflammation all over the place. And that in itself is going to lead to us just being run down and feeling like we're not functioning, like we're decaying or atrophying faster than we should be. 2 more nutrients that are missing and essential for dominating life are creatine and beta-alanine. These are low in the vegan diet. Beta-alanine, you may have not heard of it, it's a little less common, but it is paramount for optimal brain function and muscle repair and muscle maintenance, especially balancing the acidity of the muscle. So I use it in a pre-workout product because it helps basically the muscle go longer without just burning up. And then creatine, of course, is well known for basically being responsible for taking ATP, the energy currency of our cells, and recycling it. And if we don't have creatine there to recycle ATP, both in the brain, in the heart, in our muscle tissue, we are going to get a loss of energy production. We're not going to be able to perform like we want to perform. And we're going to get those 2 items, beta-alanine and creatine, from meat products. So if you are a vegan athlete, creatine and beta-alanine supplementation is definitely something you want to look at and consider, owing to the fact that vegetarian diets promote lower muscle creatine and lower muscle carnosine levels. And carnosine is that acid blocker that's created from beta-alanine. When we cut out entire groups of whole foods, it is high value for us to recognize what we may not be getting. Recognize that, hey, there's side effects for missing entire realms of nutrition, of easily accessible nutrition. And it may not actually just show up right now or next week or next month, but a year from now, potentially be like, what is going on with my body? So if you're experiencing symptoms of dysfunction, but they can't put a disease state, and you feel like, I'm doing all the best things. I'm eating all these vegetables, these beans, these nuts, these seeds. If it's not readily identifiable what that disease condition is, then it very well could be a nutritional or amino acid deficiency. And really, you got to look at your food and say, what might I be lacking here? I mean, this could just as well happen with somebody who's eating junk processed food all the time as well. I'm Dr. Matt. If you found this helpful, please throw some comments below. Let me know what you've been doing. Let me know about your vegetarian story. Let me know about your vegan story. Let me know, if you are vegan or vegetarian, how you've gotten around it, and what is your story from when you started versus 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. And please subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on health accumulation opportunity. I'll see you guys next week.